Good evening, dear participants. My name is Pierre Fenech, and I am the CEO of the Institute of Tourism Studies in Malta, who hosts and is in partnership with the Mediterranean Screen Arts Academy. It's a great pleasure to welcome you to this special occasion as we celebrate creativity, storytelling, and the remarkable achievements of emerging screenwriters. This year's competition has truly exceeded expectations, with over 1,100 entries submitted from every corner of the globe. A powerful testament to the international reach of this initiative and the universal language of storytelling. On behalf of the Institute of Tourism Studies, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to the Mediterranean Screen Arts Academy for this successful collaboration. Partnerships like this demonstrate the strong connection between education, creativity, and the evolving needs of the cultural and experience-driven economy. We've seen record growth at our institute, but our vision has always extended beyond traditional hospitality towards memorable experiences. Nothing defines a guest's experience quite like a powerful story. Receiving over 1,000 scripts tells us is that there is a hunger for quality storytelling, and that mirrors our own push for quality tourism. To all the participants, reaching this stage is already an accomplishment. Your scripts carry voices, perspectives, and ideas that deserve to be heard. You have shown courage, dedication, and creativity throughout this journey. As we prepare to announce this year's winner, let us also recognize the mentors, judges, and organizers who made this competition possible. Tonight we celebrate not only one winner, but the future of storytelling itself. Thank you, and I wish you all an inspiring evening. I now invite the Oscar-nominated director, Palme d'Or winner, and founder of the Mediterranean Screen Arts Academy, my friend Mr. Roland Joffé, to deliver his address.
Thank you, Pierre. I appreciated that, and I very much appreciated what you had to say about screenwriting. It is remarkable the number of people that sent screenplays to us, but in a way I wasn't that surprised. I know how many stories there are out there in the world. I know that almost every individual, if asked, has a story to tell. And it's a remarkable thing, I think, that so many people took the time, and this is what's important, the time and the concern to put their stories down in the screenplay format. I suppose one note that to me is very important, apart from the fact that I was so moved by how many of the stories are about people finding out who they are, finding out how the generations match one another, about finding out how to find meaning in a world that sometimes can appear meaningless. One thing that really struck me is the importance of structure. So many of the stories I looked at, I thought, this is really good, but it's forgetting one important aim, and that is the screenplay is a waypoint on a journey, and the journey is to make the film. So the screenplay itself is a gathering together, but a direction. It's giving direction to people who will follow about realizing the vision that the writers had. And for that, you need to understand format. So if I was to give a general note to you, I would say those of you who aren't sure how to format a screenplay, that's going to be your next job. This has been a very exciting project, and without more ado, we should start getting towards announcing the winners. And with that in mind, I'd like to pass over to my partner and co-founder of MSAA, Mr. Trevor Walton.
Thanks so much, Roland. The writer Joan Didion once famously said, "I write to know what I am thinking." And that's exactly what it has felt like. We have heard from so many voices letting us know what they're thinking about. And yes, there were lots of anxious voices anticipating a disturbing dystopian future. But there were also so many personal stories of hope and resolution and love. But my very favorite observation through it all was the humor. Humor rippled through so many of your stories, cynical, ironic, gentle or bitchy, from California to Odessa to Bangladesh to Iran. Mining the funny is our human way of creating at least a moment of relief, sometimes in the most dire of circumstances. It's also, by the way, how we were convinced that so few of the entries seemed to have anything to do with AI generation. So far, at least, seeing the funny side of life, especially when it is local and/or specific, appears to still be the exclusive domain of humans across the world. Enough. On to the awards. I'm going to read out the short-listed writers and their scripts, and then I'm going to announce the 3 runners-up, and then Roland is going to announce the overall winner. Again, I want to re-emphasize, we know that writing isn't a sport and it's not a competition. What our aim has really been is for you to feel encouraged, for us to read and be a participant in your journey as you're writing and learning and developing more scripts. We've really felt we want to be in partnership with you as opposed to judges. But as is often the case in life, there are some names that need to be singled out. So I'm going to start reading them out, and here we go. In no particular order. Viking, story by Amir Sagara, written by and story by Gabe Berry. Nigerian Aunties Diaspora Support, NADS for short, Aisha Abiri. Christian Elder wrote 2 wonderful scripts, Screens and Woke. Turi Hayam wrote Zoo Crew and The Missing Monkey. Dawn Interkentin Rex Yoruba Demon, sorry for my pronunciation. Hakan Unal Hidden. Gareth Meadows, Leave a Light On. James Sutherland, Featherstone. Doran Neiman and Odell Dory, I Was Like Everyone Else. Stefan von Zampel, No Way Back. Mohanjit Baldev Singh Kalsi, Incorrigible Mr. Hanks. Rebecca Cremona, The Gut. Keith Shepcott, Coming Apart. And Guadalupe Ypes and Manuel Javier Segard for 3-Way Love. Again, I do apologize for my pronunciation on some of your names. We loved all of these scripts. The runners-up, there are 3. We were planning to have 2, but then we decided there were 3 that we just had to identify. One, Sebastian Anthony Smith wrote a very funny script, very fresh, very new, called On Tap. Liron Vardy wrote a fascinating dystopian story entitled Planet Theory. And Svetlana Topor wrote a devastating and quite realistic story called No Smoking at the Border. So those were our three runners-up. Again, thank you. What an incredibly happy time it's been reading these scripts. And now, to our winner, I want to return to Roland for him to announce the winner.
Thank you, Trevor. Well, as ever, it was difficult. The runners-up moved around in our heads, this way and that. They all had, I think, remarkable things in common. They were original voices. They were looking at the world in a new way. They were observational. They were deeply human. I suppose I would make one comment about one of the screenplays, and that was On Tap. On Tap fascinated me because it showed real talent, and yet it also made my point so clear. It read a bit like a radio play. The dialogue was absolutely wonderful. It was even difficult for me as a director to work out what the vision was. But well done. There was something beautiful. You have talent. You should continue to work with it. Well, to pick the winner finally, that's Mary Craven Adams with her remarkable film script, Unusually Cold.
Thank you, Roland. I think we have we told Mary about her win, and I think that she has sent us a short little video of thanks.
I hope that, I have to start out by saying that I hope that everybody watching this has seen the film, The Killing Fields. Because if you have, you will understand exactly what I mean by the fact that experiencing that film made me feel more human. And you're also going to understand why I'm thoroughly incredulous.
Thank you so much.
That Roland Joffé read a paragraph that I have written, much less an entire script. I studied screenwriting at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts, and truly beloved professors there, with great admiration and respect for what is going on in Malta at the Academy. Put it on my radar screen. I wrote this script in the backdrop of an incident that occurred in the United States 40 years ago, almost to this very day. NASA decided that for the first time, a private citizen could work and train for the opportunity to go up into space with our astronauts. So the eyes of the world were watching this space shuttle launch in particular because one of the 7 astronauts was a teacher by the name of Christina McAuliffe, and it was an unusually cold day in Florida, and with all of the eyes on that launch in a very visual way, 73 seconds into the launch, the Challenger exploded, killing all of the astronauts. Compounding the tragedy was that we learned after the fact that the actual decision makers that decided to launch instead of postponing did so against the information and advice that they received from the engineers, those that actually had content knowledge. And, you know, here we are in 2026 with the undeniable parallels in the United States about the fact that those that actually have facts and content knowledge, those are not the voices that the decision makers are listening to. I could really digress on that point, but I need to say how much I appreciate this opportunity, and I almost did not even submit the script because I felt like it needed a couple of more passes before I put it out there into the universe. But I am so thoroughly excited, and I just cherish this. Cheers.
Great. Thank you so much, Mary. We will be talking. We are going to continue to be active participants in a number of these scripts, certainly the runners-up and the winners. So we look forward to the future. And so that's really it. There isn't much after we've announced the winner for these things. All I really want to do is thank Pierre and Claire here at ITS and the fantastic marketing team that made this happen today. It's been a real pleasure working with you guys. We've all been on a big learning curve. As Roland said when we did our first summer program, let's just plant a flag and see what happens. And we've taken that as something of a mantra for the school, and this was one of those moments. We planted the flag to see what happened. It was such a lovely, lovely experience, and we can't wait to do it again. So please check out our website, check out our Facebook page. We have a lot of online courses coming up, and a lot of in-house courses that we're going to be doing during the course of 2026. So we hope that you all come to this beautiful island in the middle of the Mediterranean, Malta. And until we see you, thank you so much. Thank everybody for being a participant in this, and we will talk again soon. Thank you.